What's up, y'all? It's Saturday. I hope everybody out there is doing well. Now, before we get started, I just want to thank each and every one of you for clicking on this video to give it a watch. I appreciate the continued support. Now, with that said, let's go ahead and get down, and I want to talk about the mysterious passing of Joe Felz. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with who Joe was, he was a spiritual influencer on TikTok, and he was also a part of this van lifestyle, but unfortunately, he passed away just a few days ago on August the 3rd. And the Georgia Bureau of Investigations ruled it as a self-deletion. Now, they're saying that they found him in the condition of a word that rhymes with banging, if you get what I'm saying. But a lot of his followers feel that the 40-year-old was taken out. Now, Joe was on the cusp of releasing Bibles that he's collected that showcase a different version of the Bibles that we know today. And he was also about to expose things that he found as it pertains to Masonry. And so shortly before his death, he said that he was going to upload these findings to his website so people could get a broader view of what the real Bibles back in the days entailed. And then all of a sudden he was taken out. So that is what is leading people to basically feel that his death is super suspicious. Now, what I'm going to do here is turn your attention to Joe talking about these findings that he came across, and then I'll be back.
Sitting in front of me are several centuries of hidden and lost information. I'm going to make a digital library out of everything you see here and some not pictured as well. This is one of 3 Bibles I have. 1878 print contains pictures, illustration, and information not contained in a normal Bible. Conversations on the Bible. Enoch Pond. 1889. Do we need a Bible? What belongs to the Bible? By whom and where were the books of the Bible written? The lost books of the Bible. Christ and Abgarus. I've never heard of Abgarus. Paul and Seneca. Paul knew Seneca? Letters of Herod and Pilate. Those are the guys who crucified Jesus. The earliest gospel, 1943. Mark was the earliest book written in the New Testament. It was written about 50 years after Jesus died. Was Mark written in Aramaic? Was Mark anti-Semitic? I've never heard any of this mentioned in any church or Bible anywhere. Am I a Jew or Gentile? It's by Thomas Davies, 1893. Cosmology or Mysteries of Creation, the Hebraic account of creation, supported by the development of existing acts of God toward matter, Adam and Ha-Adam. What? Ancient Magic and Magnetism and Sacred Forces by L.H. Anderson, 1895. Very obscure Masonic author. This one discusses how magnetism is everything. In Chapter 3, Secrets of the Egyptian Magi. Night Scenes of the Bible, with the hidden U.S. history in the cover. Daniel March, 1869. Jonah's night at Nineveh. You want to know what happens after the whale spit him out? The Bible's only part of history, so I've included a lot of other sources in the search for truth. Taoist yoga, the Chinese art of kindness, all new to me. History of Freemasonry, Daniel MacDonald, 1898. Physics and Physiology of Spiritualism, W.A. Hammond, 1871. There is an inherent tendency in the mind of man to ascribe supernatural agencies to the events of causes which are beyond his knowledge. The Outline of History by H.G. Wells, 1920. Earth and Space and Time, The Record of the Rocks, Life and Climate, The Age of Reptiles. There are 3 books before we even hit the Bible. Heroes of European History, Louise Creighton, 1907. Christopher Columbus, Part 3, Chapter 2. That's how much history is contained in there. America starts here. 1967 Economic Almanac. This book contains information on the USSR, which isn't even a country anymore. Then the part they told us is evil. Encyclopedia of Demonology and Witchcraft. This book chronicles the Inquisitions, the Salem witch trials, and all the people who were murdered for being witches. Dr. Michael Felz. My dad wrote this book about his missionary work in Papua New Guinea to formerly tribes. Read chapter 12, the story about when Joe Felz was born and my daddy delivered me. The original teachings of Zoroaster, the oldest religion known to man. Marion Crawford, 1885. I'm going to put all of these on a website that I own and control so nobody can ever change it or take away from it, and we're going to have a discussion board where people can talk about this stuff in an open forum. That way the world can finally find out the truth. I can't wait to bring these to the world because knowledge is really power.
All right, so you heard what Joe had to say about the situation. That's some pretty deep stuff, right? Pretty deep. And he was about to unleash that on his website. And Again, I want to reiterate, people feel like he was taken out before he could actually do it. Now, I've been completely unsuccessful in finding a clip where Joe alluded to the fact that if something were to happen to him, that he didn't do it to himself. But a lot of people who followed him religiously said that Joe said that on a multitude of occasions. So now what I'm going to do is turn your attention to a couple of people that are talking about this, and then I'll be back.
Something feels off about this entire Joe Felz situation. Joe Felz was an influencer who suddenly passed on August 3rd at just 40 years old. And as of now, his cause of death still hasn't been publicly released. Joe had been collecting rare, sacred last editions of ancient books and was in the process of scanning them and uploading them online for free. Joe believed many of these books contained inconsistencies with the modern version of history and revealed information that most people have never seen. He was also digging into topics like free energy. He also shared a lot of Bibles that, according to him, referred to Palestine as the Holy Land. Joe Felz talked a lot about future plans and how he was healthy, which is what made his passing even more shocking to many of his followers. Supporters online revealed that Joe Felz was prepared to release more of these books right before his passing. Another strange thing I noticed is Joe's girlfriend has been the one posting on his page lately. Because not only is she posting on his page, but she's saying things that Joe didn't even align with. And then what makes it even weirder is when you go to felzbooks.com, the place where you would expect to find all of these book scans. The entire website is blank. There is nothing there when you try to register for free. Now, I'm not saying anything for sure, but this whole situation is not sitting right with me. And the more I look into this, the less it adds up.
Joe Felz was about to upload all the Bibles that he had found that were older than 200 years online so that everyone could take a look at them. 4 days before he was about to upload these Bibles online and actually copy them, because if you guys don't know, they're getting rid of a lot of older books. He gets taken out. And these books had information about Freemasonry. These books had information about technology that we currently don't even know about, that was, used back then. I mean, like cathedrals, free energy, all these things were in those books, in those older Bibles. But he gets taken out 4 days before all the information is given out to everybody. There's got to be something sinister behind that. There's got to be a power that wants all that information hidden. And people are asking the same question, but we still don't know what even killed him. We don't even know the cause of his death. And this just goes to show you, they are trying to suppress the Bible and the name of Jesus Christ as well. This is something huge, guys.
Now, a lot of people are very suspicious of Joe's girlfriend. They feel like she has something to do with it. If she doesn't have anything to do with it, she knows a lot more than she's telling us. So let me first read you what she initially posted when Joe first passed away. She says, "With word rapidly spreading, I wanted to put out a formal statement. Joe Felz has left this earth and has finally found his free. I don't have many words right now, but I ask that you please give myself, Joe's family, and all of his loved ones the space and time needed to process a loss of this magnitude. I also want to pass along a message from Brandy that I hope everyone will keep in mind. The manner in which something occurs should never overshadow the end result or legacy that is left behind. Think before you speak, consider who will hear your words, and honor those who have yet to speak. Thank you for your prayers, your love, your understanding, and for remembering Joe for the life he lived. Hashtag Joe Felz." Now, in my estimation, that last paragraph was definitely off-putting. Something is off there. It's very weird in my estimation. It's almost like whoever Brandy is, and I don't know respectfully, was trying to get ahead of the narrative that was going to be pushed, because Joe Felz planted the seed that if anything happened to him, that it wasn't him doing anything to himself. So it just seems as though they were trying to get ahead of all of the talk that was going to come after Joe passed away, because he already planted the seed stating that if anything happened to him, that he didn't do it to himself. But anyway, let's move along and read what she just recently posted. And it says, "Thank you to everyone who has shared kind words, stories, and memories of Joe. Please keep them coming. They are helping more than you know. What is not helping and what Joe would have been absolutely ashamed and disgusted by are the false narratives, assumptions, and speculation that are already circulating. I understand Joe meant a great deal to many of you, and that's exactly why I chose to share this news, but there is a real family trying to process an unimaginable loss, and social media rumors that flow into local real life should be the last thing we have to deal with right now. I promise that when the time is right, the truth will come. Until then, honor the man instead of feeding the rumor mill. Respect the family he loved and the people he leaves behind. Think before you speak. If you weren't shoulder to shoulder with him, you likely don't know the whole story, and it's not your place to fill in the blanks. Now, I want to take the time to read you some comments from this particular post that were made. So this person says, so Joe, who was scanning all of these rare religious texts randomly, dies while totally healthy right around the same exact time that AI companies are scanning books and destroying them by the millions. Ha ha. His wife also worships fallen angels openly, and I'm supposed to believe nothing is weird here. Then another person says, but he did tell us to ask questions if this occurred. So we would be doing the opposite of honoring him by not doing so. And why are a lot of his posts now deleted? And last but not least, this person says, a man asks for us to question if he dies, he dies. His wife tells people not to question. I won't feed the rumor mill, but this ain't helping. So a lot of people are just not feeling this whatsoever. They're doing what Joe asked them to do, and it seems as though that his girlfriend and maybe some of the family are trying to deflect at this particular time. We know throughout history when someone comes out with an invention that threatens to take down the big dogs, or if you should dare have the fortitude to sue a big corporation, or if you have information that could expose someone and they can lose everything that they built, oftentimes, especially within the Hollywood realm, or if you're an individual online who has the ability to affect change and you grow a platform, it's to my understanding that Joe had 1 million followers all across social media. It's a great possibility that when you have that type of influence that they're coming after you, especially when you can change the perception and how people view Christianity and abroad. And we know that nowadays that Christianity is being used as a kickstand for politics. But anyway, I'm going to let this go right here. I want you guys to feel free to drop down in the comments and leave your thoughts. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend and be safe.